Hi there everybody, this is Robbie Burke, and this is my video for Sleader applications. So the first prompt that's listed is based on the description of the responsibilities. What strengths do I believe that I would be able to bring to the position? I personally feel like that I'm a very, approachable, very relatable person, so I feel like my group, if I am given one, would be very comfortable being around me and being able to confide in me with certain things that are going on through the week and throughout their lives. I also have a very strong ability to resolve conflict. Last year, whenever I was a Sleader, there was conflict between one of the people in my group and then another group, and me and the other Sleader and I did a very good job of confronting the issue and resolving it in a way that didn't hurt anyone's feelings or create any tension throughout the week. One thing that I feel like I would probably have the most challenge with is that with me being so approachable and all these things, that sometimes it can make me lose a little bit of the authority that I would need, because my philosophy is that you get respect by giving respect, and sometimes, especially in this day and age, that can be a little bit skewed and people may consider me a pushover throughout the week, but I'll try my very best to make sure that I can still be a good friend, but they'll hopefully be able to understand that it's more important that I am their leader than their friend, which hopefully won't compromise any of the relationships I'll have with any of my group members if I'm given a group. The second prompt is to pick an activity to teach you. So I've decided to choose the compliment web, I think is what it's called. I don't remember the exact name of it, and I don't have any of the materials, so I guess I'll just kind of pretend like I have the materials here with me. So here we go. All right, everybody, so gather around in a circle. I've got a plan for all of us today. As you know, it's all further at the end of the week, and I feel like we all have gotten to know each other very well. And with that being said, I'd like to kind of get a feel for how everybody feels about each other. Now, I don't mean in negative ways. I mean in ways that you guys have helped build each other throughout the week, and that you've, grown as individuals through the help of your group members. So what I have here is this big spool of string or yarn, and we're going to use this yarn to make a web. Now, how this is going to work is I'll start out with the web, so to speak, and I'll hold the end of it. And then what I will do is I will take out a little bit of the yarn, and then I will spend 10 seconds wrapping it around my finger, or at least wrapping it around my finger about 10 times or so. And what I'll be doing during that time is I will be talking about a person in the circle that I appreciate and who has helped me throughout the week. And then once I finish wrapping up my finger 10 times, I'll unwrap it, unravel the spool of twine or yarn a little bit more, and then I'll toss it to the person that I was thankful for. And then after that, the person who the spool was tossed to, they'll do the same thing, except to a different person in the circle. And try not to go straight across or right next to you. Try to make it, a little bit knotted up in the middle. And then if we overlap and have enough time, we'll do it again, and you'll do it to somebody else. And by the end, we should have this really big web made out of all of this yarn. And then throughout all of this, the point of doing this is just to let other people know that what they're doing is important and that you're glad that they are here. All right, so there is that. And then the third prompt is the scenario. And it says, based on it says on near the end of day 2, there are cliques beginning to form in the group, and some of the campers, 2 of them named Sherman and Maxine, have begun teaming up and making subtle inappropriate comments about another person in my group named Cleo. After dinner, we try to play a game. Cleo doesn't really feel up to it because of how excluded they're being, and they decide to sit about 10 feet away from the group And how I would deal with this is, first of all, if I noticed clicks were starting to happen, I would try my very best to try to stop that as soon as I see it. Because I think the important thing about all of this is not just learning how to be leaders, but learning how to get to know people that you may not necessarily, you know, that you wouldn't necessarily surround yourself with in a normal time. Because I think as a leader, it's very important to be able to be relatable to all people. And with that, that includes not sticking to only a few people. You want to make sure that you get to know everybody in your group, and you want to make sure that everybody in your group knows you, so that way the group will perform at its best. However, if all of this stuff had been happening very recently and I wasn't able to catch it, what I would do is I would see if I could find another Sleader around to see if they could watch over the remaining members of my group while I take Sherman, Maxine, and Cleo separately and have a talk with all of them, just to kind of get a read for the situation and make sure that they understand how each other, or how the other is feeling about it. And then I would try to find a resolution to that conflict through that. And I would especially be using all of the training that I had been given at the beginning, or the week prior to the actual beginning of the camp, to guide the discussion to where a resolution will be found. All right, that's my video. Thank you guys for considering me, and please get back to me as soon as possible. Thank you.